Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is a remake of the 2011 Nintendo Wii game. The game takes place on the frozen bodies of two fighting titans, the Bahanas where the human-like Homs and the protagonist Shulk lives, and the Mechonis where the machine-like race lives. The Homs and Mechon are like their respective titans in perpetual war, but the Homs has a secret weapon, the Monado, that is rumored to have been the actual sword used by Bahanas. During an attack on Colony 9, Shulk learns that he can control the Monado, and this is where your quest starts, a quest of revenge for your friend Ryan. The definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles sees a lot of graphical and gameplay upgrades. The original version of the game, which was based on the Wii U, did only 480p, but with all the upgrades on the graphics on the 3D models, you can look at the HD quality. Now the game does play it only at 720p at 30 frames per second, but it's not a fighting game like Overwatch or any game like that. You hear for the beauty of what the actual artwork is. But one thing that I can say is that the graphics do look good and you can immerse yourself really into the game. Unfortunately, I never got to play the Nintendo Wii version of the game or the re-release of on the Nintendo 3DS, but I am really glad now that I can get the chance to do it. Monolith Soft went out of their way to make sure that the models and the textures in the game has been refreshed. They even remixed and remastered over 90 tracks in the game. Now I must say that the game has an excellent soundtrack, and with the remix and remastering just pulls you extra into the story of Shulk when you play. If you've never played a JRPG or haven't played one in a while, then Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is a great starting point for you. In the game you can set your combat experience to casual or expert mode, there's quick travel, there's tutorials almost for everything, and you get that massive menu system from the original game, just a little bit more polished on there. The combat on the game is a little bit, for me specific, like MMO style, and you need to select your combos right to get that perfect hit, to get a little bit more experience out. What does help is if you do switch to the expert mode, you get that extra experience. That also helps you later on in the boss fights. Now in regards to your boss fights is a little bit more thrilling and intense even on your casual mode, and it just helps with the game itself. Another feature that I love, and it's not always in all the games, is that you can save everywhere, so no more doing the boss level from the beginning. When you're like me and you want to do all the side quests before you do the main quest, you can look up to 100 hours of game time. Now that's 100 plus hours is a time of about 190 hours, and that's if you do all the side quests and everything. And that's just on Xenoblade Chronicles, and not with the new epilogue chapter that comes with the definitive edition. Now you don't have to play Xenoblade Chronicles to play the epilogue chapter, as it is a separate save file, and it gives you, the epilogue does give you a review of what happened in Xenoblade Chronicles. But the publisher suggests that you actually play the game from the beginning so you can get the full experience of it. Speaking of that, the new epilogue chapter is called Future Connected and takes place about 1 year after the main story, and features Shulk and Melee where they crash land on the Bahana's shoulder. Now the new area does give you new bosses and mini bosses and brand new vistas and characters and places to explore. The combat system is slightly different to what your main quest is, your main event is in Xenoblade Chronicles, because of the ponds that is joining you. But it doesn't detract from the game itself. I think that Monolith Soft has brought out the best version of this game, and the Nintendo Switch is the right place for it. With over 100 hours plus of gameplay, you would not get bored with this game, and I think it would be a perfect gift, especially in this time of COVID-19. That graphics looks beautiful, and Xenoblade Chronicles has an excellent soundtrack that draws you in whenever, wherever, and whenever you play the game. The story stands the test of time, and I would recommend Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition to any gamer that loves JRPGs or any gamer that loves a really good story. Overall, I would say I'm really happy with the game, and I would give this game a nice 9 out of 10. Remember to like, subscribe, and come back for more reviews from GES. Bye!